Buzz live stage. Do we have some Battlestar Galactica fans in the audience? I guess we don't. Do we have some Battlestar Galactica fans in the audience? Oh, there they are. I think they've arrived. I am honored at this moment. I'm your host, Yael Teagle. I'm honored at this moment to have Edward James Olmos and Jamie Bamber from Battlestar Galactica.
Hello.
Welcome.
Terrible scenes.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
Let's start with a simple question. How much do you miss Battlestar Galactica?
Oh, so much. But I've got Eddie, so like, we're still together.
Yeah.
Yeah, loads. I mean, I've never had an experience like it since, and I'll miss it forever.
Yeah.
I would have to say the same. We really haven't been apart at all because we get together, the whole cast, minus a couple of people who live in Canada that don't make it down as much. But when it comes to the basic, say 10 to 12 people that made up the initial cast, we hang out quite a bit together. So we spend a lot of time. Matter of fact,
I just spent the last 2 weeks living in Eddie's house, and Eddie wasn't there, and I just arrived from his house here. So, yeah, we're pretty familiar with each other.
So the show really is like a family.
Totally.
You guys have family reunions at different conventions.
Well, we do, but we really don't need to have reunions because we literally see each other all the time.
yeah, when it comes to Jamie and his family moved into Los Angeles years ago, and now they've moved to France, but we lived very close together. And then Baltar, James Callis, he moved in about 2 years ago. He lived for almost a year with me, and then he got his own house. And Hogan, the XO, he comes anytime he comes down from Canada. He stays at the house, and Truco and God Almighty,
Trisha lives up the
Trisha
hill.
lives up the hill. Katie lives up the hill. Very close.
Mary's not too
Mary,
far away.
I talk with Mary all the time. Just about. Matter of fact, talked to her 2 days ago. But so we stay really connected.
And I'm married to Lane Ishe,
Yeah.
so there's that.
I've never been more jealous of a group in my life. I want to go hang out at Eddie's house.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Seems like the place.
He's never there, though. Trust me.
Let's talk about the ending of the show. How did you guys feel when the series ended in the way that it was wrapped up?
Well, I mean, I thought the story was sublime. I thought it was a brilliant. You know, the mantra of Battlestar is all this has happened before, and all of this will happen again. And the last finale was really a circle round back to who these people were before we even got to know them, and then it had that sort of hint of what would be their future, and it was, you know, a circular thing. I just thought that was beautiful, and that's a line from Peter Pan, isn't it? J.M. Barrie, all this happened before and all this will happen again. That's how Peter Pan starts.
I trust you.
Yes. So it wasn't Ron who wrote that, but we used it, and I thought it was absolutely beautiful. We shot it. It was super emotional because it really was art and life walking hand in hand into the sunset. You know, we all had these endings, and there were so many tears on the set, mainly behind the monitor from Michael Ryman, the director. He was bawling his eyes out with every take. And you know, for us, for the fans, it's a different thing. Some people hate the ending, some people like it. For us, it was far too close to home, and so I think to a man, we all love the ending because it was so meaningful on so many levels.
Yeah, we ended up. It was a very emotional journey, and of course, I end up by myself. He ends up by himself. Quite a few of us are destroyed, and it's 200,000 years ago. So that's a spoiler, everybody.
Wait, no spoilers. If you haven't watched it by now, that is your own fault. I'm saying that here and now. It's ridiculous if you haven't watched it. That's your own fault. I have a quick question before we take it to the fans. In the beginning of season 3, we see a fat suit. What was it like walking around carrying that?
Oh, it was a lot of fun, I gotta say. The first couple of times I just used to hang out at the snack area, just feeding my face. And yeah, there were some interesting comments from people who weren't prepared. Maybe, you know, some of the set deck people who weren't really familiar with what the story was, and they just thought I'd just lost it. And I enjoyed it. It was fun. You know, the process was the process. It took about 4 hours, and it was after the 12th time I did it, it got a little old. But I enjoyed acting. You know, changing the physicality of the character, and I thought it was a really bold, exciting thing to do, and you don't get to do that very often when you're sort of the young lead in a TV show.
Yeah.
They don't often want you to get fat. I've found.
Did you offer to just gain weight? Were you like, I could do this?
Oh, I would happily done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have a Raging Bull budget though, so no, that wasn't an option.
All right. I know we have fan questions, so I'm going to take it out. Raise your hand. If you have a question, I see one hand shot up. I'm going to head over here. Excuse me. Pardon me. Hello. Stand up, please.
Hello. I know that all around the world, Battlestar lives on with people doing live-action role plays, where they go on and they embody a character and they sort of play out in the universe. And I know that some of the cast members have been asked if they've been interested in taking part. Would you guys ever consider it?
I did Portlandia. I don't know. Did anybody see Portlandia?
I did.
Okay, there's 3 of us. Okay,
Google it.
If you
It's
haven't
really
seen
funny.
it, go on
Really
YouTube.
funny.
You have to see it. But I have not played the other situation. But we did go to. Yeah.
When there's an organization called the Colonial Fleet, and when we're in Atlanta for Dragon Con, they throw a party and they're all dressed perfectly. I mean, it's like we walked onto the hangar deck, and that's always one of my favorite points of. It's a 4-year cycle for me. I go back there every 4 years, but when I do, it's just like going back to work. It's great. It's so fun. So no, I haven't played the role play game, but occasionally I enjoy seeing other people dressed up as me.
We have another question over here.
Hi, my question's for Jamie. How did it feel to play Apollo alongside the original Apollo?
Yeah, it was intimidating because Richard had spent a few years trying to get his own series off the ground, a continuation, and everything I'd read about what he'd said was pretty negative about what we were doing. And then I met the man, and he couldn't have been more gracious and excited to be involved in our show. So it was a bit of a sort of a wrong foot moment, but I was pretty nervous about it, and I thought the story was pretty cool, though. You know, the writers had us clash heads, and it was this, you know, meta television moment of these two characters meeting and not quite seeing eye to eye, and having he was a potential kind of role model for me, but he was. So yeah, I thought the stories were great, and I always enjoyed working with him, and he's a lovely, lovely guy, and every time I see him, we have a special bond because of that.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Pleasure.
Unfortunately, we have run out of time, guys.
Thank you.
Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you
Edward
all.
James Olmos, Jamie Bamber, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.